Okay, little reading update. It is like 2 a.m. and I just finished The Summer I Turned Pretty. And let me tell you, that end is a roller coaster. I'm also very tired and we have church tomorrow, so I need to go to bed, but I'm like too addicted to this book and Ty is still playing video games. So I am so conflicted because Jeremiah is such a sweetheart and I love their friendship and I love like just how sweet he is. And Conrad, I mean, just the bad boy who's acting pretty selfish. I'm not completely sold on Conrad yet. I'll admit he's not my favorite currently, although I did like the way that it ended. I was surprised. I like that. Man, oh man, I did tear up with the news about, I'm gonna spoil it, so if you don't want spoilers, skip this part, but the news about Susanna, I actually saw a spoiler on Instagram about what happens with her, which I'm very sad about. I wish I did not see that, but I did, so I was really sad when they started talking about it and when she told them and all the things, but yeah, so now I'm on It's Not Summer Without You. I can't believe I read that whole book. I need to go to bed. Also, this is so funny. It's my shadow of me holding my phone. It looks really creepy. Poor Emmy is trying to sleep. Em, are you awake now? Hi, baby. Okay, the other thing is that I'm still not sold with Belly as the main character. I usually love the main characters in books, like they're my favorite character, but I am not liking her. She just seems really immature and annoying to me. This book is addicting. Like, I'm enjoying reading it, don't get me wrong, but she is not my favorite character. Like, all the stuff with the boys and her getting teased and the way she treated Cam, who, that whole situation is very weird. I'm interested to see how that plays out in the future. But she just seems so immature. So I'm not completely sold on her. Like, there doesn't seem to be a lot of, like, maturity and, like, growth in her. So yeah, she's not my favorite, which is kind of a bummer. Like, I honestly think my favorite character is probably Susanna and then maybe like Jeremiah, but I don't know. I'm interested to see what the growth will be and hopefully some character development, because her whole personality is just being the left out like little kid. So yeah, I'm having a hard time like wanting her to be with Conrad because I'm like, you're so immature. Yeah, I don't know. So I'll see how I feel about the other one, but I'm gonna start book 2 even though it's super late. I should probably go to bed, but I'm not going to. We just got home from church. I am exhausted from staying up reading, and Emmy is snagging my pants down here. She really wants attention, but I'm about 50 pages into It's Not Summer Without You, and the AC turned on, but they just left to go find Conrad, spoiler. So I'm excited for this one. I am liking it better than the first one so far. Belly seems like a little bit more mature, even though she's still pining over Conrad. But I also love that her and Conrad kind of had a relationship. Like, we learn more about them talking on the phone and stuff like that. So the fact that we have that information and now she's looking for him and all the things that are happening, I'm just excited about it. I'm really sad with how she's treated Conrad because I feel like at Susanna's funeral, she was still pretty immature in her reactions to him and talking to him. So she's still not my favorite character. I'm excited to learn what happened with them at the prom and their relationship, if you can even call it that. But yeah. Hi guys. So I just finished The Summer I Turned Pretty trilogy. Let me tell you, so the first book, my update, I didn't like Belly very much. I was very, like, hesitant between Jeremiah and Conrad. Like, I honestly did not have a preference with her whole, like, I'm in love with Conrad, but then Jeremiah is also in love with her. And then the second book, It's Not Summer Without You, I was definitely more team Jeremiah just because I was sick of the way that Conrad was treating her. I thought that was terrible. honestly, just not, that one was not my favorite either, but I did like the plot twist with her ending up with Jeremiah at the end, just because I did not see that coming. I kind of thought Jeremiah was going to get hurt like the whole time, and I was like, this poor sweet character who has done nothing wrong but be supportive and loving. Honestly, I really like Jeremiah in the second book. I was rooting for him, so I was like, yes, I love this plot twist. I love them together. And then you get to book 3, and I think it's called, yeah, you get to book 3, We'll Always Have Summer, and Jeremiah and Belly are together, they're in college, we get a little glimpse of Belly Isabel's college life, and then it dives right into her and Jeremiah getting engaged. And you guys, when I tell you that I was livid like this whole book, I am not even joking. Like, I had to read it. The one thing I will say is that even though these aren't my favorite, they were really addicting. Like, when I read them, I did not want to put them down. So I would recommend them for the aspect of like they're addicting and you just want to keep reading to find out what happened. But I hated her with Jeremiah in the third book because, as you know, if you've read them, if you haven't, spoilers, but if you have, you know that he cheats on her when he's on vacation or whatever. As soon as that happened, I was like, girl, get out of there, be done with him. I thought that she was going to break up with him and her and Conrad, like the book was going to be about them connecting. But then Jeremiah proposes, and I'm like, I did not see that coming by a long shot. Like, I'm not even kidding you. I was like, what in the world? And so then when Belly's in the summer house and Conrad shows up, I was rooting for them because honestly at that point I just did not want her to end up with Jeremiah. Like, if that happened, I would have been so mad. So continuing to read, I am bummed that a lot of the book focused on like Belly planning her wedding, and like we get a little glimpse of like her college friends and stuff. But it would have been nicer to have the book. Obviously, they're set in summer, so it makes sense. But it would have been nice to get more of a glimpse of, like, Belly's college life. And then at the end, after the wedding doesn't happen, spoiler alert, which thankfully, because that would have been terrible. Like, the whole time, I was like, girl, you're ruining your life. Like, her whole family does not approve. And she just keeps going. And I'm like, girl, you gotta stop. You can't do this. Yeah, so then the wedding doesn't happen. And then in my version, don't have the letters that Conrad wrote her when she was in Spain, but I found them online, so if you want to read them and you haven't yet, just look them up online. They're super easy to find. But that is so sweet to me. I did love the ending. I think Conrad was just hurting so bad through like the whole series after losing his mom, but yeah, overall, these are not my favorite, but I loved the ending. I love that she ends up with Conrad. I loved reading the letters that he wrote her. And I honestly wish he was more emotionally available in the books because I feel like we didn't get a good glimpse of who Conrad actually is outside of like his hurt and needing to heal. But I loved having like the point of view of Jeremiah in the second book and then Conrad's POV in the third book. I loved that because Conrad is the one that I was most interested in knowing like what he was thinking and why he was acting this way. So then when we get those glimpses in the third book, I was like, yes, this is what I wanted. So yay. I am very excited to watch the TV show. I've heard really good things. So now that I finished it, I'll have to watch the show and see how closely it follows the books. But overall, I think I would give the first one maybe like a 2. It wasn't my favorite book, probably my least favorite out of all 3 of them, just because Belly is so immature and I was not a fan of that. Book 2, I think I would get up to like a 3 out of 5 just because I did like how Belly was a little bit more mature. I liked having Jeremiah's point of view. I liked all the changes. And I liked how they fought for the house. I forgot to mention that. I honestly don't know if I ever vlogged like after I finished the second one, but I liked that they fought to have the house and Conrad showed up and he like surprised everyone and he was actually fighting for the house and not running away. And then the third one, honestly would probably give it like 3 stars because for most of it I was just so mad that she was planning a wedding with Jeremiah. I was like, are you kidding me? This cannot be happening. So overall, the last one was my favorite, but I think I would still give it 3 stars because for most of it I was pretty livid. But overall, love how it ended. How many times am I going to say overall? Oh my goodness. But Loved how it ended. Loved that she ended up with Conrad. Loved reading his letters to her when she was in Spain. Just, that was beautiful. I thought it tied up so nicely. Honestly, I forced myself to start my next book because I feel like I could be in a reading slump after finishing these. But I'm done. I read them all. I finished them before summer was over. Quick reads, would recommend if you want to read something like quickly. And it's addicting. Like, I didn't want to put them down. So all in all, pretty good series. I'm excited to watch the TV show. But thank you guys so much for watching. I'm not going to tell you my next read because I will save that for the next video. So make sure to subscribe if you want to keep up with like what I'm reading. Sorry if you haven't read it and you watched this whole video and got some spoilers, but overall, would recommend. So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure to subscribe for more book content coming soon, and I'll see you guys. Bye!